Hey guys, this is Curly Fit Gamer here and welcome back to my channel. I'm here today with a dairy-free, low-carb meal prep video that has helped me in my journey to lose weight and be healthy. Thank you everyone so much for all the love and all the support. It has definitely been a boost of awareness for me. You guys are more than a reason for me to continue sharing all of my tips on how I live a healthier lifestyle. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. As always, we are starting with what takes the longest. In this case, it'll be our lunch. This week, I am enjoying what is called a baked chicken masala over cauliflower rice. This was honestly my first time making chicken masala, and I can honestly say it was pretty good. I can definitely say I could do better next time, but this meal was definitely a hit. For me anyway. So first we're going to start off with slicing our chicken breast lengthwise into tenderloin size strips. I don't know why I use such a small cutting board. I always do this. I'm cutting 4 because I am making enough for me and my husband for the week. But for the recipe, you would slice up 2 chicken breasts. Once your strips are ready, go ahead and add your favorite oil to the bottom of your pan and turn up the heat to about medium-high heat. Toss your chicken into the pan and add your seasonings. For 2 chicken breasts, which is what the recipe calls for, add 1 tablespoon of your masala seasonings, or you could prep up your own using cumin, coriander, black pepper, cinnamon, nutmeg, and turmeric. Stir this around to ensure all strips are evenly coated. Make sure to now preheat your oven to 350 degrees. I always forget to do this before I start cooking, so I'm just telling you now. Go ahead and turn up the heat to your oven to 350 degrees. While this is cooking, it is time to prep up our veggies for the meal. Go ahead and rinse a medium red bell pepper and slice it up. I always try to add colorful foods to my meals because they always provide the most vitamins and nutrition. And also go ahead and rinse 8 ounces of mushrooms and slice them up into smaller pieces if they are not already chopped. And something that I've actually started doing recently is paying attention to my protein intake. I have almost met my weight goal and I'm really excited, so now I want to start building muscle. It's kind of hard for me to try to adjust, but one thing that I have noticed that has been working is consuming a lean protein and only consuming fats coming from things like avocados, unrefined oil, etc. I feel more satisfied with my meals and I don't feel as hungry throughout the day. I'm still trying to follow a calorie deficit just because I don't want to gain the extra fat. I'm really just only trying to gain lean muscle. So that is something that I've started doing and it has been working for me. So in a 13x9 baking dish, or if you are following the recipe, an 8x8 baking dish, add 1 can of coconut milk, which 1 can that I've been using is 14 ounces. Again, I am adding 2 cans because this meal will be feeding me and my husband for the week, so I am doubling everything. Then add about 2 tablespoons, or for what the recipe calls for, an extra tablespoon of your masala seasoning and whisk it until well combined. Add your bell peppers and mushrooms to the mix and stir it in as well. By now, our chicken strips are done, so we begin adding them to the baking dish. You can also mix your coconut milk and seasonings in a separate bowl, so you can place your chicken in the baking dish first and then pour your sauce on top, but I wanted to use the least amount of dishes to wash as possible. So make sure that the chicken is submerged in the sauce so it can cook in it. One thing that I've been realizing with meal prepping is that there's always so many dishes. I need to create like a guide on how to use the least amount of dishes, but your cooking and the flavor and everything is still just as effective and just as yummy. So I'm gonna ponder on that one. So go ahead and put your baking dish into the oven for about 25 minutes and we're gonna go ahead and start on our dinner. Begin by cutting up 1 white onion into small cubes and chop up 3 to 4 garlic cloves. Once diced, add about a tablespoon of choice of oil into your pan and add your onions and garlic. Of course, saute them periodically until they are fragrant and translucent. That is the best way to get the flavor out of your onion and garlic, guys, especially if you're new at cooking like I was not too long ago. One thing that I have realized going through this weight loss journey is that it definitely teaches you how to cook, because before I did not understand the reason for sauteing your onions and garlic before actually using them in your dish. But when I started doing that, I definitely saw a difference. So just even small little things like that can really change the game for your dishes and the flavor overall. So I went ahead and slightly turned down the heat for our onion and garlic on the stove top. As this is still cooking, we will start chopping our cabbage. I actually just learned how to do this, so please don't judge my chopping skills, because honestly, I think I did pretty well with this. A good way to explain how I cut the cabbage is like an onion. After the cabbage is chopped, toss it into the pan with the sauteed garlic and onion. Toss the cabbage around a few times, cover it up, and make sure the temp is back up to medium-high heat. I just think it's so funny because as I am voice recording this, I'm thinking to myself, my mom has made cabbage so many times in my lifetime. I cannot believe that I don't know how to bake sauteed cabbage. But you know what? It's never too late to learn. I wanted to try making cabbage because I always enjoyed it when I was younger. It definitely was not as good as my mom's, but I feel like I have a lot of room to improve. I personally enjoyed it. I just wanted to add more veggies into my diet, especially because for this meal, this is going into my dinner. So I always like to have a light dinner. As I've said in my previous videos, it feels a lot better on my digestive system and allows me to sleep better. And when I wake up in the morning, I'm not feeling groggy because my body was still trying to process what it ate the night before. So as you saw with the cabbage, I did sprinkle some salt and pepper for taste. Later on, I did end up adding some garlic powder and onion powder as well. I noticed that tasted really good with the cabbage. Now I am continuing on with the next part of our dinner, which is fresh green beans. I really don't like to use canned, that's just my preference. I like the taste of fresh green beans. I get to control how much sodium I'm putting in it and whatnot, so this is just my preference. But you can also use canned green beans as well. I can say it's a lot faster and it's probably a lot easier than going through the hassle of having to wash them and cut the ends, but this is just what I prefer doing. I like using whole foods over canned goods and boxed items. Go ahead and throw these into the pot with some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and maybe a little bit of butter if you're not lactose intolerant. But I went ahead and just used some oil, olive oil, let it boil in the water for just a few minutes to kind of make it a little tender. Lastly, we are going to work on our breakfast, and like I always do, I'm going to add spinach to the bottom of my smoothie bag for the extra fiber. Weird enough, I couldn't find any fresh spinach at my local Walmart, so I went ahead and I grabbed some frozen spinach instead. I don't even know why they even had this. I never thought that they would actually make frozen chopped spinach, but this was actually a lot easier. I can say that for sure. Anyways though, this is what I had to use. So I'm adding 1/3 of a cup of this frozen chopped spinach. Next, I am adding a 1/2 cup of frozen blackberries, a 1/2 cup of blueberries, 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. Thank you so much for everyone correcting me in the comments. And 1 full tablespoon of natural unsweetened and unsalted peanut butter. Now, I completely forgot to add the protein powder and collagen powder, which I ended up adding after I prepped up all my freezer bags, and I looked and I said, babe, something looks really off. I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot the protein powder. So make sure you do add a serving of protein powder or your favorite collagen peptides. For dinner, I am adding 8 string beans in each container and about 1.5 cups of cabbage. I did also ended up adding a whole carrot in each container because I felt like the dish looked so empty and sad without no other colors. I like colorful food, guys. For my protein, I'm also making some eggs. You can do this a couple ways, either boiled, scrambled, or Sunnyside Up. I would have preferred to do it boiled, and then I just would have peeled off the shell that evening of when I'm getting ready to eat my dinner. But I went ahead and just did it Sunnyside Up because it just looked better on pictures. Lastly, prepping up our lunch, I add 1 full cup of lightly steamed cauliflower rice and about 4 ounces of chicken breast with a half a cup of Garam masala juices because it just tastes so good with the rice. In every meal that I prep for myself during the week, I always try to make sure that I have a good, healthy, and a good amount of protein to consume. It allows me to feel fuller longer during each meal, and I'm less likely to snack in between meals as well. So if you are someone who feels like you're always snacking, try upping the protein. Even if you're vegan, there's plenty of protein options out there, including quinoa. But that is it. We are finally finished meal prepping. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found this meal prep inspiring to start on your own healthy lifestyle journey with useful tips and ideas to take along the way to achieve your short and long-term goals. Meal prepping is what allows me to stay on track every week and to meet my goals. If you have any ideas of your own or feedback, please comment down below. If you guys end up doing this meal prep, please let me know in the comments down or follow me on Instagram and tag me at CurlyFakeGamer. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up so I know you guys want more content like this. I love you all, and as always, I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys!